This is Little Wing 1 and Rob G going out to you. Welcome to the Underground and welcome to the Apocalypse. Greetings, everybody. Glad you guys are here. We're reporting today in a time of sincere conflict going on all around us, a lot of confusion happening. We find ourselves asking the question, what do I believe? We've got so much information coming from all sides. For many years, the main form of communication for most people was the written word. And then we came to radio. Radio was revolutionary, and what people would do is they'd all gather around the radio, and you'll see pictures of it as I put them up here. And they would listen to radio stories and dramas, what they call dramas, sports, news, all kinds of stuff from around the country. A curious event happened with a program called War of the Worlds. Orson Welles broadcasted War of the Worlds, which turned out to be a crazy disaster because it was a fictional alien invasion, and it caused major national panic because everybody thought that it was a real event. There was mayhem going on. So at that time, you really saw the power of the media and what it could do to people, even if you were just listening to it thinking it was gonna happen. Next, in the 50s, came the television sets. I know my own grandfather built his own, and everybody, the entire neighborhood came over to watch the small little tube they had, a little screen with all these tubes coming off of it. Though everybody would gather around the TV set. And then came the programs out of the TV, the programming, all of the commercials that you saw and all of the TV programs as they developed through the years. A lot of stories say, and you'll have to study this and you can read this, is that the CIA had a lot of involvement with television and how they can shape the way people thought, how they could move the masses to think a certain direction. And that also holds true up until today. Let's jump to today, which we've got every kind of explosion of information that we can possibly find. We've got everything from things that are handheld to things that are laptop to things that are, anything that we could carry around that has a screen on it. We can hear what's happening. We've got social media. We've got all of our alternative media, quote-unquote, outlets that give you information. Today we're going to be exploring a thing that is called cognitive dissonance. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that down below. I'm going to put everything that we study today and everything that we go over today in our description. I'm also going to put down there a bonus, which is a link to a couple videos that I think are excellent. One of them is a short one describing what cognitive dissonance is and how it affects people's thinking, and also a really good documentary. I think it's Paul and Melissa Dykes, but it's Truthstream Media, and it's called The Minds of Men, and I think you'll really enjoy it. And it just describes how the science of it and the psychology of mind control fit in with how they affected everybody in the population and how they molded everybody's thoughts to they experimented basically on the populace. So it's very interesting. And so I'm going to put that down in the link below also. And also everything we read today I'll put up for you guys to read along or look at on your own, which I always encourage. Cognitive dissonance, what it means is it's a mental conflict when you're confronted with two different ideas. This can be used in media to cause confusion, chaos, anger, and the feelings that come with that are chaos, confusion, anger, a fogginess that goes on. I don't know if you guys notice this, but I've been noticing lately that there's a lot of anger out there. If you try to put a comment on something on social media, be it YouTube, be it Instagram, be it any kind of whatever outlet you're on social media where you're interacting with people, you get a barrage of, if they don't agree with you, everything is an exclamation point and everything is anger. And if you don't think the same way somebody else thinks, there's just this attack going on. And that is a symptom, actually, of cognitive dissonance, and actually an outcome of a PTSD, which is a which is a form of how this cognitive dissonance comes out. Post-traumatic stress comes out of that, and it's a type of almost like a mindless anger. If you've ever noticed that that's happening right now, it's pretty crazy. If the reason why that's happening is with the information we're getting is conflicting. We'll hear something that we need to do. Let's take anything. This toothpaste causes cancer. Then you'll hear in a report the next day, this toothpaste doesn't cause cancer. It's good for you. So that's an idea of two conflicting ideas. It particularly happens in healthcare, but it could happen in anything. I mean, it could happen in politics. It could happen in, news reports. It could happen in anything. We're getting all kinds of information that it's flying at us at all times. So what happens is we try to choose the area that suits us best, and we try to choose what goes along with our belief system. Instead of looking at all different areas and kind of making a educated decision, we go with, well, let's see what we agree with, and we kind of tend toward those areas. Let's move toward the group of people that agrees with me. Let's move to this type of group, this social media platform. We're all going to get off here, and we're going to go to here because all of these people agree with us. That's a form of cognitive dissonance, where you're building your entire life around your idea because you don't want anything to conflict with that. That's not always a healthy thing. We'll learn that as we go along. Okay, so let's ask the question, what do I believe? Or in this case, what do you believe? What do we do with all of this? What do we do with all of this information that's coming in at all times? I find that for me, a lot of times what I do is I retreat within myself. I kind of get overwhelmed. That's a PTSD response, post-traumatic stress disorder response, that says, I can't handle all of this information. It's just too much for me. I'm overwhelmed. I'm feeling anxious, and therefore I'm going to retreat within myself, and I'm going to not interact, and I'm just going to isolate and move within myself. That's not always a healthy thing, and here's why. Because we need the interaction with other people. We need to talk to other people. We need to spend time with other people. It brings us out of ourselves, and it helps us to think. It helps us to communicate. And it's very important. You don't want to surround yourself just with the things that are in your immediate little world. You need to reach out. And the problem is if you isolate too much, you're going to have symptoms like depression. You're going to have symptoms like anger and mistrust and fear. Fear is a big thing right now. I don't know if you've experienced that, but it's a big deal right now. If you go into any of the social media, they're peddling a lot of fear. So too much of that diet of media is unhealthy. If you feel yourself feeling any of these effects, please reach out and please take a break. If you're feeling overwhelmed and you're feeling like the media or the information or the computer or your phone is just too much for you, you need to take a break from that. Read something that you enjoy. Spend some time with your pets. Spend some time with your family. Spend some time doing something you enjoy. Art is awesome. Our creativity is an awesome outlet because it helps you to think. It helps you to express yourself. It brings you out so that you're not so bottled up inside. And it's a great outlet for me. I do a lot of that kind of thing. So let's get down to business here. What is your calm in the storm? And that's what I was just talking about. If we're going to try to find a calm in all of the storm, I want to ask you what yours is. What do you do to help you? I'm not talking about medicating yourself with things that are not healthy. I'm talking about things that are healthy that are going to help you in the long run. For those who are following along in scripture, I have some scripture verses that I'm going to be putting up here that you can write down. And I'm also going to put them in the description below so that you can You can write them down for yourself. Write them down and keep them with you, because these things are an anchor, and what Jesus says is they're a rock in a sea of sand. So here's our first scripture. We're going to read that. It says, it's Psalm 120, and it is the first chapter, and it is 121 and 2. In my distress, and that's what cognitive dissonance causes. It causes distress. I cried out to the Lord. You're asking for help. And he heard me. Deliver my soul, O Lord, from lying lips and a deceitful tongue. Now, a lot of this media that we're going to hear isn't always correct. So you need to ask for help in sorting that out. And if you need to take a break from that, that's what you need to do. Here's the second one. John 14, verse 1. Let not your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, and that's if you believe in God. I hope you do. That was my insertion. If you believe in God, also believe in me. And that's Jesus talking. That's something to believe in, and that's an anchor for your soul. Next one is 2 Timothy 1 through 7. Now this is a good one, because a lot of you know this one already, but it's something that we need to repeat over and over. Write it down on your mirror, do whatever you have to do in this time. It says, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. That is, I always say this, that is super important for you right now. With all of this turmoil going in the world, we need a sound mind. What does a sound mind mean? It means it's a calm that God brings, and it's a way to think through what you're doing. So all of these things are going to be written below. All the scriptures going to be written below for you to follow along. If you have any questions and you have any comments, please write them below. Share this video if you think anybody will enjoy it or learn from it. If not, that's okay too. And I will try to answer you if you comment below. And also your notes are going to be down there, and all the scriptures are going to be down there, and the questions are going to be written down there also. As always, until we talk again, the Lord keep you in this time of storm. He is a wonderful umbrella for you in this time of storm. And I'm always here. Reach out if you need somebody to pray for you. I'm willing to do that. The Lord keep you. The Lord bless you. And we'll see you again. I'm not sure when, but hopefully soon. So this is LW1, and I will talk to you soon.